oh shit, Korra got a nice ass final villain for the end of the series. I know a lot of people was losing hope, and they seen the ending of the first Legend of Korra, which was kind of fucked up. But this kind of rekindled it. They got some potential now. So anyway, Korra got fucked up. This is going to be a brief recap and, telling the story. Korra got fucked up. She lost her memory, and now she's got to go find out. She got to find out about the first avatar in order to gain her memory, which I didn't understand. Like, I thought that the avatar was going to tell her who she was, but it kind of makes sense because now she can, tap into what she needs to, as she goes all the way back to the beginning. She knows she's the avatar. She can tap into whatever the first avatar had, and then maybe they can go on down the line and they be like, okay, this is what you did, Korra. You know what I'm saying? Because she can find Aang, and Aang will tell her who she is, and then she can get her memory back or something, some shit like that. But anyway, she goes into like her own mind because one of the fucking firebenders, whatever they found, it looked like it's firebender, found to put in this water where she can meditate and stuff like that. And she goes into her own mind and back into her past life and finds out about the first avatar, Wan. Now this dude, when we go back in time, I'm looking like we just went back in time. Why the fuck the artwork changed? That always throws me off. I said this was like a parody. I thought it was a fucking spoof. The way it was looking, because it's like we didn't change dimensions. We just went back in time. They changed dimensions, that would make sense. But we just went back in time, and all of a sudden everything looks fucking different like that. It wasn't like they added different things, or it was just like the artwork was different. It didn't seem funny. But by the end of the show, I got used to that. Everything, every minute of the show kept getting better. So anyway, first off, Wan, the first avatar, this is before he became the avatar. He's living on this island where, well, it's sort of like it's living on this land, this village where you already know there's the top rich people and then the people at the bottom begging for scraps. He's got to steal in order to survive. And I said, oh my motherfucking God, this is Aladdin. This is fucking Aladdin. I was kind of mad at that point, because I'm looking at it. This looks like a fucking spoof, and this motherfucker's Aladdin. So anyway, he tried to steal from the the rich people in order to get some food for his family and whatnot. One of them got turned into a half tree or something like that. You find out that if you go into the forest, if a spirit goes in your body, you will start turning to him and you'll die. So that's how he got turned into a half tree. So anyway, he joins once he got fucked up after he got caught stealing, he joins some of the it's some people that they send out to go into the wilderness in order to find food and provisions and stuff like that, bring back to the town. And they find out that the town is on top of a giant lion turtle, which is in the first series, the Avatar, which is in there. So that makes sense. I was like, oh man, this ties up. And what he does is he grants them bending powers to use to venture out. It looks like the lion tigers are protecting the people from the spirits because the people get fucked up by the spirits. But anyway, he goes get the powers. They go in the woods. He says, I quit because he's scared or whatever. But really, he was stealing the bending powers to use to fuck them up later. They sent them back. Usually, you get the powers back to the turtle and you go on about your business. He used that power to try to steal even more from the whatever the Richter chose. And it backfired. They find out who he is. They banish him from the place. And he says, you know what? To the lion turtle, they was going to take away his powers. He said, can you please let me have my powers? That way I can survive in the spirit world. And they're on actually the same planet. Whatever planet that they're on in Avatar, they're on that same planet. This is just back in the day where it was just a whole bunch of spirits just overrunning the whole planet. And he says, can I keep it? And they say, okay, sure thing. Because, he ain't that damn bad. He ain't going to send them out there to get fucked up. He runs into a couple spirits. They fuck them over. Anyway, he helps some of the, wildlife and whatnot. It seems like the spirits is cool with nature and wildlife and stuff like that. He helps one of them animals, and now they find out, okay, Wan is cool. So they let him join, and he's living with them. Now we get into the good parts, and it was getting better and better after this. You figure out that he learned firebending, even though he could bend fire because they're damn turtles. He learned it from the dragon. The dragon taught him how to efficiently use it. And that's where they find out what's going on. Now, even though in the first series they said, oh, they learned it from dragons, they might have meant that we learned how to use it correctly. Not only that, after so many years, the story gonna change anyway. So, that still makes logical sense. So now we know why certain people become benders and certain people don't. It's like an inherited trait. Because that lion turtle is the one that granted him that power. So the people that didn't get granted that power just can't do it. That's why you see some people can do it, some people can't, because it works like that. Now that makes sense to me, and it works. And what he starts doing, he starts living amongst the spirits, helping them out and stuff like that. Now, when some of his people find out, oh, he's living in the wild, they run into him again, and he beats them. They said, damn, this motherfucker living good. They said, fuck it, we could do it. Because they were trying to get out from under that tyranny of the Chose. They get the powers, going about their business, going to the woods, and they start burning up, the wild places and shit like that, stuff like that. Anyway, my boy Juan runs into two of the biggest spirits on that planet. He runs into them. They're fighting. And he's like, yo, you got to stop him. You're going to destroy this place. He tries to stop him. And one of them, the white one, tells him, back the fuck off. The black one says, help me out. He goes to help the black one out because he said that, the white one's been bullying him or some shit like that. He finds out he fucked up. You already know what happens. You fool. Look what you did. They always do this in shows where somebody fuck up. You fool. Look what you done did. Some shit like that. They say something like that. You find out that the white one was good, the black one was evil, and then basically it's a power struggle between them two. And you find out all the spirits are from a different world. They're from a spirit world. Then the physical world is where the humans was at. But what happened was the spirit world the physical world got invaded by the spirit world because the spirit of evil broke the fucking barrier and let them in. And the humans went to the turtles to seek protection. So now that makes sense. And then you find out each of the turtles grant them different abilities. And now you find out why the airmads are the way they are, because the turtle that used the air powers was a nomad. It was floating around, moving around, stuff like that. So that's where they got that from. So that clears that up. So anyway, he finds out he fucked up. They said, we got to team together to take this dude down. And he says, you know what? He sees some air nomads, and he finally found some people. He said, let me go hang out with them. He finds out that they use airbending. He's like, oh, damn, let me try that out, to help him face, whatever he has to face. So anyway, after they found out they got to face the spirit of evil, he said, you know what? I'm going to start using different elements of bending. And this is the reason why other people can't use it. He started combining powers with the spirit of positive, with the spirit of good spirit, whatever the fuck. And they start combining powers to give him the ability to use multiple bending elements. You see what I'm saying? So now that makes sense and why only one avatar exists. And so after that they train and everything, he gets all 4 elements and they're ready to go to war. He finds out that the spirit of good and the spirit of evil go to war every 10,000 years. Every 10,000. So now it makes sense why it didn't happen. This shit didn't happen in Avatar, and why he's a medium between the spirits and the regular world, this physical world. They get into it. He finally beats them because he combines with the spirit of good. But what happens is that damn solstice connects or whatever. It's like a yin yang. This fucking spirit world is like a yin yang world, weird shit. And the spirits is basically like neutral. They could be good, they could be evil either way. But then when it's more on the evil side, the spirits become evil. When it's more when the spirit of good is stronger, they become good or something like that. But it's got to be a balance. Anyway, he gets beat the fuck up by the evil spirit. And then you see this arc of energy. It looks like that's how he got energy bending powers. He was combined it with the fucking good spirit, and he touched that energy field or whatever, and that gave him enough strength where he combined it with, before he was going to die. But instead of that, he combined it with him and was able to defeat the spirit of evil. Now it's 10,000 years later, and he's getting ready to come back. Man, when I got done with this episode, I was just like this. I was doing this the whole time. And I kept looking up saying, damn, that makes so much sense. They cleared up so much shit. Now we see why there's only one avatar, because even though the avatar, I'm thinking like maybe some of my energy bends, they can become the avatar. I think the reason why Korra's uncle can energy bend, he probably was fucking with those portals. It seemed like that's what when he touched those portals, that gave him the powers. So that's probably why he can energy bend. I think maybe another avatar can be created if you can destroy maybe the first. You know how you if the firebenders would have killed all the airbenders, right? Then killed whatever's next. Maybe, and it can't be, remember the spirit goes to the next element. If they did that, maybe the fucking spirit of positive or whatever would have just came out. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it could live for so long. And he's got to, basically he is that spirit now, and he has to face that evil spirit again now. Or Korra has to face it. She's next in line. That shit was good. But now I'm trying to figure out exactly what the guy trying to do. Did he combine with maybe he's trying to do the opposite of what Korra did or Wan did, combine with the spirit of good to become an avatar. Maybe he's trying to combine with the evil spirit, that way he can become the anti-avatar or some shit like that and gain the same powers just in reverse, which makes sense. But now we got a clear-cut enemy, and it's better. Like, I couldn't believe they gave so much backstory and development for him in such a short amount of time. It was unbelievable, and everything ties in. So I was completely satisfied with this episode. I want to give it a 4.5 out of 5, 4.5 stars out of 5, man. The only reason I didn't give it a 5 because there's a couple other reasons. I mean, you know how the show was going. Wasn't, a couple episodes wasn't all that great and shit like that. So fuck it. And there was a couple questions that I got from the episode that I couldn't, like why did they change the art style and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? That didn't make any sense. But now the avatar state's been explained. It seems like the avatar state is really that girl or that spirit that's in them that was acting. But remember, the spirit's so fucked up from being weak because the other spirit's so strong that maybe why they couldn't control themselves. But go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this episode. I thought it was great. If you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Anime and manga means more. They tied up every fucking thing. I was so pleased with this shit.